kind of thing that Carol just sang about, we all get it. It's all easy to understand. Positivity, yes, wonderful. You know what people sometimes have a hard time with? Not you particularly, but people when I talk to them and I tell them what I'm a minister of, they say, what's the science part? Science? How does science fit with religion? And that kind of messes with people's heads a little bit, science. Well, you know, because our church and our teaching is not the kind that wants to tell you what you have to believe. That would sometimes be easier, I think. But what we're asking you to do is to explore for yourself, to be scientists yourself. So the scientist part comes in because we're asking us to explore something, to hypothesize something, and to prove something for ourselves. So let me start with Ernest Holmes, because you know, this man was just really brilliant. Way ahead of his time, I think. He says, in the scientific discovery of laws, certain theories are postulated. Such theories may develop through research and investigation. That's where we come in. When a theory proves to be correct after many experiments, then a principle is announced. In this way, scientific truth is demonstrated. But no one has ever seen any of the principles which the science announces, and as no one has ever seen the great cause which lies behind all manifestation. Are you with me so far? He says the principle. We don't see the principle. We see the announcement. We see the demonstration. As soon as a law is discovered, experiments are made, and the facts are proven to be true. In this way, science is gradually formulated. As more and more facts are gathered and proven, the science expands and generally becomes accepted by all. That would be really, really nice, and may be used by those who understand it. So he's talking right now why we are scientists. Like any science, there's a theory postulated, and then experiment after experiment after experiment must be done until you start to go, oh, I think we're coming up with a fact that we can now announce and say, this is the way it is. That's what this whole book is about. Ernest Holmes says there's this thing called the science of mind. And we've proven, he and his contemporaries, proven time after time after time, that the way we think, and I'm going to bring in today the way we feel, has so much to do with our life. He proved it for himself. But you cannot take his word for it. You can only take his example of it. Every single one of us, we get to prove it for ourselves. You notice why I said we get to? We get to prove it for ourselves. Now he wrote this in the early 1900s. How much more true is this for us today? It's because some of the scientific discoveries that we have learned since that was written are proving it. And I'm going to get to that in just a little bit there. He said, anybody who understands the science may use it. What I'm going to dare to say is even if you don't understand it, you can use it. Because how many things do we live with now, let's say like medical science. Oh my gosh, there's a whole lot that I do not understand, but I choose to trust whatever parts of it I choose to trust, and you too, right? So I don't know why this exact pill can make this effect in my body. I don't know the science of that. I don't know why some pain relievers go straight to your brain and block a signal while other ones go straight to a place. I don't know. I don't know the medical science of that. But I can still use it. So the good thing about mental science is that even if some days and even if you take classes and you go, wow, Sean, that's just, my mind is blown. The thing is you can still use it. And the simplest way to use it is to begin with what Harold sang about, positivity. If nothing else, start with positive thinking. It's not the end-all and be-all, but it's a great place to understand it. So, in this science can be used even if you don't completely understand it. I, for one, like not knowing everything, and I like not understanding everything. When Mary read one part, I didn't remember what it was. That was the thing about God being infinite, and we could never use it all up. It blows my mind, and I love it. I love having my mind blown wide open to that concept of infinite life. We're never going to use it all up. Ooh, I don't completely understand it. I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody can. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an infinite power. But we do the best we can to use what we do understand. And that's what today is all about. So every single one of you in this room, and everybody that's not in this room, has a superpower. Your superpower is that you are all mega creative beings. You are creative, whether you understand it, or whether you know it, or whether you have ever thought so. And I don't mean art. I don't mean artistic. I don't mean music. I mean you are creative of your life. So that's your superpower. Every single one of us is amazing creators. In the May Science of Mind magazine, there was a contemporary of mine. Where did I put that? I have it written right there. I also have it written up here. Let's pop it up. Reverend Jane Claypool. She said this: remember at all times that you are working with an unlimited power for good, and there is no need to plea bargain, manipulate, or beg. State your claim, accept it mentally, and then let it go. Isn't that what we do?
Yeah.
Yep. I was reading this and I was like, well, let me just break down every single one of these. Could be a talk in and of itself. First of all, remember at all times. There's a huge message. Do we? Remember at all times. Well, if you're like most humans, we forget sometimes and we have to remember again. That's a huge teaching. Remember at all times. All right? And what's the first thing? We are working with. We are working with. Not something separate who's doing something to us. We are working with an unlimited power. There's your infinity. Unlimited. We wouldn't ever want to limit that infinite power that we call God. Let's not. And it's right here. It's unlimited. No need to plea bargain, manipulate, or beg. Oh, we wouldn't do that. Not here. Never. State your claim. Okay, what do we do in treatment? What's step number 3? Step number 3, realization. We make it real. We affirm. That's what we're doing. We're stating our claim. This is the way it is. Now I underline that next part. Accept it mentally. That's where our word is. Accept it mentally. And then let it go. We let it go so that we know that the power greater than us can do something with it. Accept it mentally is a huge part of this, because sometimes we don't. We might say a beautiful affirmation. God is all there is. God is healing me right now. God is my abundance right now. But something in us goes, I'm not sure. Every single one of us has different kinds of I'm not sures. We have leftover baggage from childhood. We may affirm, I'm abundant. God is abundant in my life. But something in us attaches to that old baggage and says there's never enough. All right, we can work with that. There's something in us that says, I am a unique child of God, perfect the way I am. And then some of us have that thing that says, oh, but I'll never be as good as so-and-so. That comparison thing. We all have our own pieces of not accepting it or not really believing it. We can work with that. And that's a really good thing. So as you're kind of listening, you're identifying, what are mine? What are mine? So we all have the pieces that we're not always hanging on to mentally. I want to bring in here, emotionally, our feeling nature, because they are not mutually exclusive things. Years ago, I stopped thinking that mentally meant my mind and my thoughts, and emotionally meant my heart and my feelings. They are now this. Scientists have proved that there's a thing called the heart mind. The heart has its own intelligence. It's different than this, what we call our brain or our mind. But there's a heart mind. There's an intelligence. And I kind of feel it as my intuitive nature. My intuitive nature that as the vibrations go out, I can pick up on the world around me and it can come back to me. Or I can influence the world around me through my heart mind. My heart has its own sense of wisdom and intelligence, and I marry it with my mentally accepting. So the mental and the emotional, let's stop thinking of them as something separate. Our feelings and our mind both must accept. And when we do that, you know what it's called? Who remembers what I lit the candle for? Belief. Belief. That's right. That wasn't a test, that was just a right. So we take our mental and our emotional, and as it comes together, there's our